Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and this is my third year of using this Keter bin. I think the color's starting to go on it a little bit. It sits outside all year round. So we had a pretty good crop last year. As you can tell from these right here, this was actually mint. It worked out incredibly well growing mint in here. We had mint over here. We had an onion that was eaten off by deer. The mint though, we had another mint plant right here. Again, it worked out incredibly well. We had a huge mint crop, which is great. We made mojitos, we made stuff with mint, we added it to drinks as for some of the juices that we make. It was great to have this fresh mint right here, ready to go whenever we needed it. But winter's starting to end, although today was 27 degrees this morning. It's time to start getting this ready. Hopefully that this spring is going to be right around the corner. So I've got a bag right here. I'm going to start pulling out all these weeds that are starting to grow in here, throw them in the bag, get rid of them. And then I have some castings. Let me just show you right here. I've got some nice, beautiful worm castings right here to go in my bin to revitalize the soil. And then I'm going to cover this up with some mulch on top to get ready. And we're going to try something different this year. I actually have some, you can probably see them through the window right over here, these seedlings that I have growing. That's actually broccoli and a few other things. I have another garden I'm starting this year, but I'm going to plant a couple in here too and see if we can get this going with some different things than I usually plant. So let me go and empty this out and you can take a look at it. So far, I have to say it's holding up really well though. I've been very impressed with this system. I've told multiple people in my family to buy them and they have. It's amazing how well this is holding up. If you're doing aquaponics, this actually might be a good system as well. They have these little cross pieces in them to hold them together. This thing fills with water, no problem whatsoever. It has a little drain in the bottom. So if you had this filled with water and then wanted to empty it out, it would be no problem draining it. I mean, it just seems like it's actually a pretty good system for aquaponics, really, now that I think about it. So, you know, if you throw in an air stone and a cover over top of this with some plants, you could probably grow things inside your house too. And I might have to pick another one up and try that out. So let me start by emptying this out. All right, so in the end here, I've decided to keep some of the mint on this side. I did not realize that mint was already coming up in these little plants. Actually, this is a weed right there. But some of these little plants that were coming up were actually mint. And the mint from this side had spread all the way into the center section, was coming up around here. Now that I don't want. I really wanted to kind of keep the center section open. But I'll keep mint growing in this third section over here. If I had a divider in here, it'd probably be good to kind of keep these separated a little bit so it wouldn't spread over. But I'm fine with having a little bit of spread. I just don't want to have too much. You know, I don't need 10 tons of mint here. I want to have some other stuff. So what we're going to do now is this part is cleared. I kind of dug down deep. I pulled out all the roots that were underneath. Now I want to add some of my compost, my vermicastings on here. If you watch my other videos, you can see how to make that. We're going to add that right on top here and kind of mix it in. So this has some worms in it, by the way, if you can want to see here. So I don't know how well these are going to do in the soil, but you know, there are some worms in here. It's a little chilly right now, but we'll see. But we're going to work this into the soil. This is a mixture of some castings and some old potting soil, and it has some different stuff in it, but that's okay. So what I want to do here is I want to just sort of mix it in, you know, get it going. More mint here. I don't want to, if you leave mint in here, it's going to grow. If you have a single leaf, if you have a piece like this, it'll come back. It's amazingly resilient, mint is. So there we go on that side. Let's just dig it up over here, kind of mix it up. And right now I still have the bottom of this thing just wide open. I'm not actually storing any water in here or anything like that. I don't want to yet. So there we go. This looks good. That's a big chunk of something over there. Don't need that in there. All right. So now we are going to add, I have some mulch here too. And I want to mulch the top so that way I kind of prevent some other things from growing in here. Like there's a lot of weeds that are growing in here and stuff. And I like to kind of, like this I don't mind. These are wood chips and some other little pieces. But I really like to stop some of these weeds from growing up if I can. Whereas I feel the mint will poke right through itself. I don't want everything to poke through. So I'm going to have some of this mulch here, which I bought from the Scouts, the Boy Scouts, or Scouts I guess it is now. I'm just going to add that to the top here. So the idea being to kind of hold down the moisture a little better in here, kind of make a nice little cover here on the soil. Another piece that'll break down into here. And this is just sort of revitalizing the soil. This soil has been in here for 2 years now. I'm going to use handfuls on this other side since there's already stuff growing like this. I didn't add any of the nutrients over here as far as the castings, but that's because I didn't really want to dig it up. And just putting it on top, it's going to dry out and be worthless. Whereas once it's down underneath this layer, it's going to be nice and moist, which is what you need for the microbes. And then, there's another weed over here. Now, as I said, this thing has been holding up really well. This is its 3rd year out here. I'm not doing anything special with it. I mean, at one point, this gets covered with snow. It gets filled with water until I remember to drain it. I've had, this thing filled and overflowing on this side since it's leaning this way. It's been overflowing on this side with water. No issues whatsoever. It's still perfectly solid. So I'm impressed with the system. I don't know if they've changed the designs or not in the last couple of years, but I would still highly recommend buying one of these. I do wish I had a patio or deck to put it on so I can level it off and also maybe have it up off the grass here, especially since the deer come over and eat from it. But we're going to try some new things. I'm going to try some deer off this year. I'm going to try growing maybe some broccoli or some peppers in here or something. So just kind of change it up a little bit and see how we can do. So thank you for watching. If you have questions, please let me know. I do have some Amazon links down below. I don't know if I have one directly to this one anymore. It comes and goes, it seems like, on Amazon. I try to keep it updated, but I can't always do that if it's not available. So thank you for watching. And again, if you have any questions, let me know.